Tonight on Newswatch 18, hear what President Leath has to say about the recent security breach.
And find out who's been named to the VEISHEA task force.
The SU Club rugby team is heading to the Division I AA National Championships. I'll tell you more after the break.
We're sitting in the middle of a pressure system right now. Is it going to go away this weekend? Stay tuned to find out. You're watching Newswatch 18.
This is Newswatch 18.
I first said, but I read what Kyle was supposed to be reading. And it was
Newswatch 18 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Newswatch 18. I'm Kelley Werner.
And I'm Maria Lisignoli. Thank you for joining us. An unauthorized breach of several departmental servers led to a release of over 29,000 students' social security numbers and over 18,000 student ID numbers. President Stephen Leath has called for a tightening of security efforts to protect Iowa State's informational systems. As a part of the new security plan, officials will be making use of identity detection software, strengthening password requirements, and be more routinely scanning campus systems. President Leath expressed how important it is for students, faculty, and staff to take data protection more seriously.
President Stephen Leath announces the members of a task force to study the future of VEISHEA. Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, Tom Hill, will chair the task force. The task force will study VEISHEA and assess its roles and future existence. The task force will consist of Dean of Students, Pamela Anthony, the Mayor of Ames, Ann Campbell, and Campus Town Property Management General Manager, Melissa Pierce, to name a few. The group will provide recommendations to Leath before the end of June.
Ames police arrested 4 people Tuesday for soliciting sex for money from undercover officers during an operation to identify instances of human trafficking and prostitution. In each of the 4 cases, subjects responded to an ad and agreed to meet in an Ames hotel. Once the subjects arrived, they exchanged money with the undercover officers and then were arrested. In Iowa, prostitution is an aggravated misdemeanor punished for up to 2 years in prison and a fine up to $6,250.
The Mayor of Ames, Ann Campbell, remains hospitalized and in critical condition after suffering a cardiac arrest earlier Tuesday morning. Campbell went to Mary Greeley Hospital and underwent surgery to clear a coronary blockage. Her doctors say that it is too early in her treatment to make any prognosis, but her family members are optimistic and hope to see progress soon. Campbell has been Ames mayor since 2006 and before that served 16 years on the city council.
A new Iowa State University study found that mentoring programs for first-year teachers could make it difficult to develop a deep understanding of science. Many school districts develop mentoring programs to ease the transition for new teachers during their first year. ISU grad student Lori Ehrig, associate professors Joanne Olson and Michael Koff found new teachers often feel pressure to teach to the status quo. The teachers in the study received little support when they would promote research-based teaching methods that were different from the curriculum.
Raymond Gardens will join in National Public Gardens Day festivities on Friday, May 9th. National Public Gardens Day is a national day of celebration that invites communities to explore local garden spaces while raising awareness. The event will be free to the public, and there will be free seedlings to the first 100 visitors. The free seedlings are a serviceberry, a deciduous, early flowering, large shrub or small tree. The seedlings typically grow from 15 to 25 feet tall. At Raymond Gardens, National Public Gardens is part of a 3-day Spring Fling tribute to early season color that includes special offers and activities for youth.
With the world population projected at 9.6 billion by the year 2050, agronomists at Iowa State are preparing faculty and students at African universities to fight hunger. They plan to educate plant breeders by developing online and electronic e-modules that will help teaching students how to feed the growing population. Walter Souza, overseer of the project, stated that this is a sustainable lifetime solution as he believes that commitment to education is a long-term approach. Within 2 years, the e-modules should be available to the faculty and students in Africa.
The Iowa State's Agriculture and Forestry program has been ranked 5th in the world. The ranking comes from the Quacquarelli-Simmons World University Rankings, which is a British organization that measures employer and academic reputation, as well as scientific journal citations. Universities around the world vote for the top 10 universities, and they weren't allowed to vote for themselves. Iowa State in particular has made a big impact in the number of citations which have been used from research done by ISU graduate programs. Iowa State also has the third largest undergraduate program in the nation.
Representatives from 11 countries participated in the annual International Friendship Fair. The event was sponsored by the YWCA of Ames and gave visitors an opportunity to dispel stereotypes and gain intercultural understanding. Representatives displayed boards, pictures, maps, flags, traditional decorations, and clothing from their country. For instance, visitors were able to learn how their name is written in Arabic from the Saudi Arabian representatives. A few countries represented included Indonesia, Cambodia, Ecuador, and Nepal.
Pride Week is coming to an end, and it is going out with a bang with the annual Pride Rally. The Pride Rally is a tradition that brings together members of the Iowa State community to share their stories, be visible, and build community. The rally is tomorrow from 12 to 1 at the South Lawn of the Parks Library. This event is free and open to the public.
U.S. News and World Report has published a list of the best high schools in Iowa based on college readiness. The publication viewed more than 30,000 public high schools according to the rankings. Iowa State is one of the highest high school graduation rates in the nation. The report noted 12 Iowa schools as silver medal schools and 86 as bronze medal schools. Number 3, George Washington High School in Cedar Rapids. Number 2, John F. Kennedy High School in Cedar Rapids. And number 1, Mid Prairie in Wellman.
And now we're joined by Andreas at the desk. Andreas, how is the year wrapping up with Cyclone sports?
Well, you know, the women's softball team went head-to-head against bitter rivals, the Iowa Hawkeyes, last night. I'll tell you about its unexpected conclusion. Stay tuned. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm Andreas Haffar with your Cyclone Sports Update. Now, the club scene where the men's rugby team has had a remarkable season, and as a result, they have earned a top spot in the Division I AA National Rugby Championship. This is a major contrast from last season, with more wins than losses this time around. This weekend, the Cyclones travel to Bowling Green, Ohio, where they will look to mark their debut in the tournament with a victory. Former Iowa State player Brandon Jensen has reversed his decision to quit playing for the Iowa State football team. ISU head football coach Paul Rhodes announced today the Ankeny native is set to return effective immediately. Last December, Jensen made the decision to leave the team and continue on with school. However, now, Jensen will compete as a fifth-year senior in the fall. The defensive tackle has played a career 36 games for ISU and will surely be a great asset to the interior line of the Cyclones' defense. The first round of the Big 12 Women's Tennis Championship saw the Cyclones go head-to-head with Kansas this morning, where they were defeated, losing out 4-1 to the Jayhawks. The team finishes the season 9-14 overall. Sania Pronina was the only victor in today's action, defeating Dylan Wisdom in the singles competition, 6-1 and 6-2, while ISU's Lydia Green came up just shy of defeating Carolyn Henson in a score of 7-6 and 8-6. The Iowa State women's softball team faced off against bitter in-state rivals, the Iowa Hawkeyes, last night. The Cyclones came out red-hot offensively in the early stages of the game at 1-0. However, the game went into an 84-minute delay, which was originally only to be 30 minutes. Upon continuing the game, Sarah Harlock and Lexi Slater made it a 3-0 to the Cyclones, and the teams battled back and forth. The Cyclones were in the lead until Hawkeye Brianna Luna hit a 2-run home run in the fifth inning, tying it at 6-6. The lights went out at the bottom of the fifth inning as the contest was called off due to darkness and insufficient weather conditions. You can see the Cyclones again this Friday in Big 12 play, where they take on Texas Tech in a 3-game series at Lubbock this Friday at 7 p.m. The biggest track and field meet in the state is finally here. The Drake Relays attract interest from both high school and college students to professional athletes. Athletic competitors from Iowa State are participating in the 105th anniversary of the competition in Des Moines, with Bree Wobler sitting in 10th after day one. Wobler set a personal record in the 100-meter of 14.44 seconds as she finished 11th overall, with impressive displays in the high jump, shot put, and 200-meter respectively. Today, the 4x100-meter squad of Bethany Brown, Crystal Nelson, Katie Moen, and Edge Okoro will look to replicate their record-breaking feat, to which they hold the second fastest time in program history. Soka, is this rain going to stick around or what?
Well, you know this rain's going to be heading out. I'll tell you when and what you can expect this weekend coming up. Stay right there. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to iState News. I'm Kyle Steingraeber with your weather forecast. Right now in Des Moines, it's a balmy 54 degrees. In case you haven't been outside today, it's a little cloudy, a little windy, and really humid. We're at 84% humidity right now. If you're going to throw on a jacket before you walk outside, be careful. You feel a little cold at first, and that humidity is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Taking a look at the almanac, we just can't seem to kick this 4-month cold spell. We should be looking at high temps in the mid-60s. Instead, we're struggling to get out of the mid-50s. On the bright side, our low temp isn't as low as it should be. Typically, we'd be looking at lows in the 40s. Thankfully, we're hanging out around 50 degrees. It could be worse. In 1967, Des Moines had a low of 24 degrees. Taking a look around the state, we've only got 3 spots in Iowa that aren't in the 50s. Waterloo's at 49, Decorah's at 46, and Sioux City is breaking out the sunscreen to blazing 62. If you're looking closely, you've probably noticed that Nebraska and Illinois have temps in the 70s, while we're chilling in the 50s. We're sitting smack dab in the middle of a pressure differential. Thankfully, that pressure system's moving out tonight because the weather over the weekend is going to be awesome. We jump up almost 10 degrees tomorrow, but it is going to be really wet out. We've got a 90% chance of rain. Moving into the weekend, though, we jump into the 70s with a couple clouds here and there and a slight chance of rain on Sunday. On Monday, the temps start to drop and the chance of rain goes way up, so you want to plan your week accordingly. Kelly, tell me things.
Thank you, Kyle. Are you looking for a way to make a difference in a kid's life? ISU Dance Marathon just may be the right fit for you. Michelle Schoening has more.
15 hours, more than $427,000 raised, all for the kids. That is what Dance Marathon is all about. Dance Marathon is Iowa State's largest student-run philanthropy on campus. Dance Marathon is in its 18th year and is ready for a mission to $1 million.
We have the most students we've ever had on campus, and there's no reason that Iowa State Dance Marathon shouldn't reach $4 million. The reason we're doing Mission to $1 million is we want to set Dance Marathon up to be a $1 million program. It's time for us as an organization and as a university to step up and give all these kids everything that we can.
The money raised is used for distraction tools at the hospital and various items at the NICU. ISU Dance Marathon has pledged $1 million to the new Children's Hospital, which is being built.
A few other things that we fund are family amenities, so a lot of parking passes and a lot of meals for families. Parking at the Children's Hospital can run up to $14 per day, and we've had families that have been in the hospital for 2 months at a time. So imagine all that parking adding up. Iowa State Dance Marathon will defer some of those costs for the families.
Dance Marathon has 25 active families that partake in activities throughout the year, such as Tailgate or the fashion show, gearing up for the big day, January 24th, 2015. So far this year, Dance Marathon has registered more than 700 dancers, which is 7 times the number of dancers registered at this time last year.
I would say this is the year to get involved with Dance Marathon. We are already breaking records. We are on track to just do amazing things for the hospital this year. It's an event that you don't want to miss out on, and honestly, it's an event that every cyclone should do at least once. I would encourage everyone to do it right away so that they can do it year after year, because after you do it once, you're going to want to do it again.
And don't forget, every Tuesday is Teal Tuesday. So get out to the bookstore or teal from your closet and wear it and represent those kiddos. With photographer Ryan Berg, I'm Michelle Schoening for iState News.
If you have any questions about how to get involved with Dance Marathon, email the co-directors at isudmdirectors@gmail.com. And that's all we have for tonight's edition of Newswatch 18.
Be sure to join us next year for more cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Have a great night, Ames.